Sir Anthony. There are a couple of cool things about this. We shot this for People, and he actually showed up for the shoot by himself. Like, no entourage, nothing. Just knock on the door, open the door, and he's standing there. His hand comes through the door and said, "Hi, I'm Tony. What do you want to do?" And I'm not like wild. I mean, I'm a little cynical from doing this a long time. And this was like, this is so cool. But this picture you're looking at was lit with one light through a Shimera softbox and a reflector on the other side, just like we showed you a minute ago. This is Dan Brown, who wrote the Da Vinci Code. Okay. Now, when we photographed Dan, this was fun. Keiko was working, and Keiko's holding the softbox. And there are times Keiko's official title is VAL. Anybody know what VAL means in photography? It stands for Voice Activated Light Stand. Keiko, would you hold the light over there, please? And I'm telling her to hold up the softbox, and she's like this. And I said, could you hold it higher? And she said, well, this is as high as I go. So anyway, with Dan Brown, we didn't actually need a reflector in the picture because he's on this staircase with a curved white wall. That curved white wall became our reflector. This is one of my all-time favorite subjects. This is John Updike, and I had the honor of photographing John about half a dozen times. Very sad when he passed. And so this was shot during an actual interview for Der Spiegel magazine. And once the interview starts, we can't do anything. We just have to let it flow. And we can't even make too many frames, because if we make too many frames and start annoying the reporters, they're not going to want to hire us again. But the picture editor says, you've got to come out with a great photograph. So there's sort of this diabolical position here of what we're going to do. And so as we walk in, and Keiko actually walks behind the desk, and I see her reflection. I think, okay, this is where we're going to have John sit. Because we can seat the people where we want them, and then that's it. So we've got this really nice reflection of him in the table. But to go back to something from the last section, almost the beginning, where did I start the exposure? I start the exposure in the element I can't control, the lights. That's where I start the exposure. And we're doing this, and Keiko and I are sort of kneeling down, and I'm watching him, and when I see a moment, I pick the camera up, and Keiko holds up the softbox, we make a frame, and then we sort of fade into the woodwork. This is a professor at Wellesley College. And the way we actually lit this one, there were two speed lights out here. And this was shot a while ago, so it was actually shot before I had pocket wizards. Okay? So the challenge was, how did I fire an infrared signal through a stone wall? The answer was, we fired it that way, taped some white foam core onto the wall, and then shot the signal back up. That only worked because it's dark in here. That was the only reason it worked. And if we didn't have the white foam core, it wouldn't have worked. Today, with a set of pocket wizards, I could care less if there's a stone wall. It makes no difference at all. This is some kid I shot at Harvard who just had no money when I took his picture. And, it's actually very funny. I get this assignment from the editor, and she calls up and she says, Rick, there are a couple of kids at Harvard who are doing something with their computers. I got to go to a meeting. There's this kid, Mark Zuckerberg. Here's his phone number. Call him up and take his picture.